y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary and welcome back to my channel. Hey y'all, welcome back to another bi-weekly reading vlog. This is for the weeks of December 24th to January 6th. I think I've already done this intro, so if I have, I will just cut this out. But this is for the last reading week in 2023 and the first reading week in 2024. So happy New Year to everyone watching this. I am so looking forward to 2024. I have one book to catch up on y'all on. I finished A Necromancer Called Gam Gam by Adam Holcomb. This was my second semifinalist for Sphinx series, and y'all, I am loving this. I love this book so much. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved the characters of Gam Gam and Mina so much. I can't wait to read more from these characters. I kept thinking about them after I finished, and they just made me laugh and smile and just feel good on the inside. That leads me to my current reads. I am currently reading Valperga by Mary Shelley. This is a historical fiction book set in Italy, and I'm enjoying this, but it also feels like maybe she's trying to do too much with this book, which is weird for me to say about Mary Shelley, but you know, I'm not going to DNF it. I'm still enjoying it, and I'm still in the second third of this book, so we'll see what happens in the last third, if she can wrap it all together. But it just feels like the first third was all about politics, the second third was all about religion, and I think it's starting to come over to politics now, but it just feels like it's too much in one book for me. I'm also reading Bounty by J.D. Cunningham. This is a fun science fiction kind of superhero book, kind of like the Winter Soldier almost from Marvel, but a female, and it's really interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing where that's gonna go. Book of Night, I just started this the other day. Absolutely beautiful book. Again, I have another book with the black sprayed edges. I thought that Renia was my only one. I did a book haul of that in my last vlog, but then I drew this out of my TBR jar, and I remembered that my dear friend Sharon sent this to me. This was her Illuminate crate, or her Fairy Loot edition, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. I am only like 1 or 2 chapters in this book so far, and I've finally got the audiobook for it, so I'm going to be doing an immersion read of this weekend, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this book is all about. And then the last book that I am reading was a very random audiobook that I started on Christmas Eve. I needed an audiobook to help me fall asleep, and one of the new rules I've put in place for myself is that if I don't currently have an audiobook going, first I look for audiobooks for any of my current reads, and if I can't get one immediately for them, then I go to my Audible library and I scroll all the way down to the bottom and find the one that I've had the longest that has been unread, and that led me to Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This audiobook is narrated by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I am eating it up. I remember enjoying Anna Karenina before when I read it, and I think I did an immersion read with this audiobook before, because there are sometimes that's really familiar to me. But Maggie does a fantastic job of drawing you into this story. Now, Russian lit is often, in my experience, filled with a lot of drama, which will immediately draw you in anyways, but the way that she reads this drama is in such an interesting and intriguing way that I can't help but want to pay attention. I was going to listen to just like 1 chapter, and then all of a sudden I heard chapter 6, and I was already several chapters in, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop because I have to get up in the morning, but I can't wait to continue this. So that's 4 books that I'm currently reading. I am going to try to stop myself from starting any more this year and try to maybe finish up 1 or 2 of these by the end of the year. I have just a couple days left in 2023, so maybe I'll be able to get at least 1 of these finished by the end of the week. But that's it for now, and I'll check in with y'all again very soon. Bye. Hey y'all, I have just a quick reading check-in for you all. Yesterday on New Year's Eve, I finished 2 books which helped me stay up till midnight to see in the new year, which is always a good feeling. I don't know why, but it always feels good when I can do that. First up, we have my third semifinalist for the Sphinx Championship Series, The Collector's Lost Things by Jessica A. McMinn. This one I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I really enjoyed getting to know the magic system here and seeing how characters collected these armbands that they get through different trials. And then technically I finished it this morning, but it was like 5 minutes past midnight, so I'm counting it in December and the last year's reading, and that's Valperga by Mary Shelley. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars. This one for me was tough because the beginning was fantastic, the ending was great, but the middle just felt like it distracted us from the plot, and it just felt like Mary Shelley was doing too much in this one book. But it's Mary Shelley, and I still really loved her writing, so it's a solid 4-star rating for me. The books that I'm going to be reading today and tomorrow while I still have off, although I think we're going to the bookstore tomorrow, so maybe not so much tomorrow, include Book of Night by Holly Black. I'll be reading Bounty by J.D. Cunningham, Anna Karenina audiobook narrated by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I will be reading our Joan Didion essay of the month, Notes Towards a Dreampolitick, and might be starting my next novella for the Sphinx Championship Series, which is probably going to be Bad Grains by Susan Schmidt. But that's it for now. I will check in with y'all again very soon. Bye. Hey y'all, one last check-in for this bi-weekly reading vlog. This, of course, again, is for the last week of December, first week of January. To start off this check-in for our bi-weekly reading vlog, I have a book haul. John took me to the bookstore earlier this week, and we got a whole bunch of books, and I can't wait to show you because I'm so excited for these books. There's a bunch of them, so just hang on. We'll start with the paperbacks because they're easier and lighter. First up, we have The Mermaid Chair by Sue Monk Kidd. This is the author of The Secret Life of Bees, and I've really wanted to read more of her books since I read and loved and became obsessed with The Secret Life of Bees. I honestly have no idea what this book is about, but I know I'm gonna love it because I loved everything about The Secret Life of Bees. The back says, a vividly imagined love story between a woman and a monk, a woman and her husband, and ultimately a woman and her own soul. The Mermaid Chair is a transcendent tale of Jessica Sullivan's self-discovery. That sounds intriguing. I can't wait to get to this. I love Sue Monk Kidd so much. I know she's going to tell such a vivid and engaging and emotional story in this book. Next up is a book that I've heard a lot of people talk about on BookTube and especially on the Library of Allen's Discord. That is The Chronicles of the Black Company by Glenn Cook. This includes 3 novellas in this one book. I love that title page. We get The Black Company, Shadows Linger, and The White Rose. I can't wait to start reading this one. I've heard such great things all over Allen's Discord that I knew at some point I had to pick it up, and I am ready for some more what looks like military, maybe fantasy. One of the greatest fantasy epics of the age. We'll see. I am really excited for this one, so that's really exciting. And then this next book I got just purely off of the cover. I mean, the title, it made me laugh when I read it in my head. That is Just One Damn Thing After Another, The Chronicles of St. Mary's. This, I believe, is book 1 in Jodie Taylor's series. It's the best-selling British madcap time-traveling series that seems to be everyone's cup of tea. Honestly, I don't know anything about it besides what I just told you. Literally just got it because the title made me laugh, and I love titles that make me laugh like that. So I am really excited to see really what this book is all about since I have no idea. Now, our next books up are hardcover copies, so they're a little bit heavier. I'm going to try to go through them a little bit slower. First up, we have Changes by Jim Butcher. This is, of course, part of the Dresden series. This is book 12 in the Dresden Files series, and you guys know how much I am loving this series. I'm hoping to, even though I've been listening to them mostly on audiobook, I'm hoping to collect all of these books because I know I will want to reread these again and again and again, and I just can't get enough of the Dresden Files. And this will go along with, I think I shared this in my last one, I got briefcases from Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative. That is the second collection of short stories for the Dresden Files. Since we're reading the novels, the graphic novels, and the short stories, I am just collecting everything I can for the Dresden Files because I have loved everything so far. Next up is author that I've read before, although I've only read one book of his so far, but I absolutely loved it. It was one of my top reads of the year I read it. Last year, the year before that, I forget when I read it. That's S.A. Cosby. I got Blacktop Wasteland. I don't know anything about it other than it's, you know, a mystery thriller that is going to be amazing because S.A. Cosby was such a great writer when he wrote Razorblade Tears. I am expecting similar things from this one. I don't know if it's similar story, but the writing is going to be so great that I knew I had to get it. Especially for that price, $6 for a hardcover is pretty hard to beat, I feel like, especially since it's in such great condition. Guaranteed thriller of the year. So I am really looking forward to adding more thrillers to my reading and seeing what else S.A. Cosby has to show for us. Now, the next two books that I'm about to share are something special. These are books that I probably wouldn't have gotten on my own, but because John was such an amazing partner, he bought all of these books for me, but he especially encouraged me to get these to add to my Game of Thrones collection. So we have A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and Fire and Blood, and I believe Fire and Blood comes 300 years before the Game of Thrones series. I believe this one is the one that is based off of for House of Dragons, the TV show, and Knight of the Seven Kingdoms comes a century before the Song of Ice and Fire series, Game of Thrones. So I am really looking forward to both of these books, and they have pictures in them which sold me right away. We get these illustrations on the back, but there's also pictures in here. Look at these end papers. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love the color in them. I love everything about them. And again on the back, I love the orange on this, like the orange that goes into the yellow gold colors. It's just like absolutely, I'm so excited for these books. Let's check out what this one is. Wow. Yeah. That's just amazing. I'm so excited. So that is my kind of New Year's book haul, if you will. Thank you to McKay's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We go there all the time whenever we can, whenever I have a free day off of work and McKay's is open. I go there, I take some books there to trade in, I pick up some new books. All of these books were purchased at McKay's for really reasonable prices. So that is my book haul of the year. Now let's get on to the reading part of this check-in. The main reason for these bi-weekly reading vlogs. So I have two things to check in about for this week. First up, I've read our Joan Didion essay of the month for January. That's called Notes Toward a Dreampolitick. I still don't know what a Dreampolitick is, but this essay kind of Didion wrote about a few interesting people who seem to not really be connected at all. The people were interesting, but other than that, I didn't really get much out of that essay. And then the second check-in that I have about reading that was finished is This morning I finished Bad Grains by Suzanne Schmidt. This was my fourth semi-finalist for the Sphinx Championship Series. This one I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it had great characters, an awesome atmosphere, and intrigue that kept me turning page after page after page. Bad Grains is about a 11-year-old main character who absolutely loves Halloween, even though her little hometown in Germany doesn't celebrate Halloween as much as she would like everyone to. But when her slightly older brother and 2 of his best friends suddenly disappear on their walk home from school, it's up to Jo to find her brother and his friends and bring them back home. And I loved everything about this novella. These semi-finalists are so good. So far, each one has been rated 4.5 out of 5 stars. And if it wasn't for my call pile scores, I don't know how I would pick 2 to move on. They've just been so good. So that leaves me with my current reads. I am currently reading Anna Karenina, which is, I'm doing the audiobook of this Leo Tolstoy classic, as narrated by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and she does such a fantastic job of narrating this book. 2 books, at least, that I hope to finish this weekend include Book of Night by Holly Black and Bounty. Once I finish those, I'll be starting in on The Gathering Storm, which is book 12 in our Wheel of Time series. Just 3 books left. 4 books? 3 books, I think. Maybe 4, I don't remember. Couple books left in this series, and also once I finish Bounty, I will be starting The Demon's Dagger, which is my last semi-finalist for the Sphinx Championship Series. So I'm really looking forward to getting a lot of reading done this weekend. It's been raining all day. It's cold outside, so it is the perfect reading weather. I'm gonna go and catch up on some of my journaling and then get right back into reading. So that's it for now. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite reading moment from the past 2 weeks? What are you looking forward to reading the most in the next 2 weeks? As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love y'all to the moon and back. Bye.